Hey friends, happy Sunday and welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. If you're new here, hello and welcome. I'm Taylor. I'm a stay-at-home wife and mom, and I share these videos every Sunday, typically earlier in the day, but Lily has been sick all weekend. Friday she couldn't keep any food down, and then she's had a sore throat all weekend. We took her to the doctor. It's not strep, it's not the flu, so she's just resting, but I did not feel like spending the time editing yesterday, so I'm here doing this on a Sunday morning. But I hope that if you like these kinds of videos, you will subscribe down below and come back and see them every week. And then I also post grocery hauls on Tuesdays to kind of show you what I bought to make all of our meals. And then another video sometime like later in the week usually as well. But I'm going to stop rambling and go ahead and get into this week's What's for Dinner. Okay, we're starting this week's video on Saturday night because Friday night we just had leftovers from Thanksgiving and I didn't take any pictures. So Saturday we had turkey and gravy and egg noodles. It's one of our favorite ways to use leftover turkey. So I just cut up a bunch of it, and then we didn't have any leftover gravy, so I made a couple packets of turkey gravy and then just cooked up some egg noodles as well. And then once the gravy had thickened up according to the package directions, I just tossed in that cut up turkey that I had cut up, and then it warmed it up in the gravy, and then you just serve it over the egg noodles. I like to put a lot of pepper on mine, and it's delicious. I don't know, it's one of our favorite ways to use up turkey, as I said, and yeah, we love gravy and meat over egg noodles. Sunday we had ham and cheese sliders. Again, this is one of our favorite ways to use up leftover ham. This actually used up all of the leftover ham. So I ended up taking these brioche rolls from Aldi. I love to use these, and I cut them with a knife horizontally to make them into little sandwiches. So you've got a bottom bun and a top bun, and then I'm gonna layer on all of the leftover ham, and then I did cheddar cheese, and then I put the tops back on these, and I like to mix together butter and seasoning usually. If we're doing Italian sliders, I'll do garlic powder and Italian seasoning, but when I do ham and cheese sliders, I usually like to do Dijon mustard, or I had some stone ground mustard that I found on clearance, I think at Kroger, or maybe it was Aldi. I think it was Aldi. It was in there Aldi finds, and it was marked down, so I bought it. So I just mixed that with a little bit of butter, and then brush that on the tops of the buns, and then you put some foil over this and stick in the oven on 350 for 25 minutes, and then you take the foil off and put it back in there for another 5 minutes to get it a little bit crispy, and that's it. Sliders are super easy, and my family loves them. For those of us that like salad, we had salad with this, and then Lily just had some fresh veggies on the side. Monday we had magic crispy baked tilapia. I have shared this before. The original recipe is actually with shrimp, which we have done and we like. So when you see the recipe link down below, it's going to be for shrimp, but you can do the exact same thing just with tilapia and adjust the cooking time. So I'm starting off with 2 tablespoons of butter and half a cup of chicken broth. The original recipe calls for dry white wine. I just replace it with chicken broth, and you put that in your 9x13 pan and stick it in the oven while it preheats to 425. For me, this took about 10 minutes, and then you pull it out and you have your hot pan and melted butter ready for cooking your shrimp or your fish. Then in a big bowl, I have melted 2 tablespoons of butter, and to that I'm adding the juice from 1 lemon, or I'm just using bottled lemon juice and enough to equal the juice from 1 lemon, a couple cloves of minced garlic, and some salt and pepper. And then I am adding in my fish. I've got 4 pieces of tilapia here, or you could do a pound of peeled and deveined shrimp. And you just want to toss it and get it coated in that butter and lemon juice and garlic. And now we're going to make our topping. For this, we're going to use 3/4 of a cup of panko breadcrumbs, about 1/4 a cup of Parmesan cheese, a little bit of salt, parsley, and 2 tablespoons of melted butter. And just mix all that together really well. Now in our 9x13 pan, we've got our melted butter and our chicken broth. We're going to lay our tilapia in there, and then I just make sure to get all of that garlic and everything and put it on top of it. And then you're going to take that breading that you made and spread that out evenly over the top. And then this goes in the oven on 425. And for tilapia, I usually do about 12 to 15 minutes. And then to go with this, we just had some angel hair pasta that I added some butter and some Parmesan cheese and parsley and salt and pepper to, and then a salad on the side for those of us that like salad. We love this Magic Crispy recipe with fish or with shrimp. It's delicious and pretty simple and easy to put together. Tuesday we had Mississippi pot roast, and this is something that I've shown many times in my channel, so I did not feel like pulling out the camera and showing it step by step this night, but I will have a recipe linked down below for you guys. We love this, and I serve it with potatoes and carrots that I cook with the pot roast. I know a lot of people don't do that, but I highly recommend it if you haven't tried it that way. And then we have it over some white rice. Wednesday night we had Instant Pot chicken noodle soup. We love this recipe, and it will be linked down below so you can get all of the exact measurements. I'm starting out with the Instant Pot on the saute setting, and I'm adding in some olive oil, and then once that was hot, I added in celery, carrot, onion, and garlic, and I cooked that for longer than the recipe says. It says about 2 minutes, but I really wanted to make sure everything got softened, so I cooked mine like 5 to 10 minutes till things got pretty soft, and then it will continue to cook once we pressure cook it. Then I added in some red pepper, thyme, oregano, salt, and pepper, and my chicken, and I cooked that for about 2 or 3 minutes. The chicken doesn't have to be all the way cooked through. Again, we're going to pressure cook it. And then I added in chicken broth, or I did water and nor chicken bouillon, and then I added in spaghetti. You want to do 8 ounces of spaghetti noodles, and you do want to cut them into like 2 or 3 inch pieces, and then just put those in there. And I don't really like stir it at this point, but I do want to make sure all those noodles are submerged in the liquid, so I kind of press them down. And then we're going to cook this on manual high pressure for 8 minutes. And then after the 8 minutes, you do want to let it naturally release for 10 minutes, and then after the 10 minutes you can release the rest of the steam, and then you take off the lid and you can stir in some parsley and a little bit of lemon juice, and that's it. It's super easy. I love how the noodles cook in with everything. I do think I added a little bit too much noodles. When you've got a giant box of spaghetti, it's hard to make sure that you only get like 8 ounces. It's hard to measure that out. So I think I put a little bit too much because usually it doesn't look like it has that little amount of broth. But yeah, it's delicious. I will say it doesn't reheat very well or keep very well, but it doesn't make a whole ton of it. But the noodles will absorb all of that liquid if you try to save leftovers of this, and they will be like soggy mush. So I will say that if you have a really small family, you might want to cut this recipe in half, but it is very good and I think it's worth trying. And finally, our last meal of the week was a grilled cheese and tomato soup. We were supposed to have a cheeseburger soup, but we were at the zoo earlier in the day, and when we were there, I was like, I don't feel like going home and making that whole soup. So we stopped at the store on the way home, got some sourdough bread, and had our favorite Progresso hearty tomato soup with some grilled cheese. The kids had ham on their grilled cheeses. I just had a plain old grilled cheese. And I think Andy just had a regular grilled cheese as well. And that was it for dinner for that night. And that was it for this week's What's for Dinner. Even though it was all really easy stuff, I hope that y'all still enjoyed it. And I hope you'll have a great rest of your weekend. Let me know down below if you plan on trying any of these recipes. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.